Greetings and welcome to another episode of Dissertation Diaries. Today is April 28th, 2019. It's a Sunday. It's late. I've got a lot done. Technically, I had this week off. My week runs for school. My week runs from Thursday to Wednesday. And I had a week off, so I didn't really start my new class, until Thursday. Today is Sunday, so that was 3 days ago? Is that right? Yeah, 3 days ago. But here's the thing. I am now in my extension courses. These are 12-week courses, and I have only 4 of them. So I have 48 weeks to get this thing done before I enter into the extension courses. And things start getting really expensive at that point. So I've got to get this done. I had a lot of time really to think about what I've done here. And I've structured this to where I think I can accomplish it in the coming 48 weeks. Here's what I plan to do. I have 4 of these extension courses left. And ironically, I have 4 chapters left to do in my dissertation. I've completed chapter 1. I've been struggling with chapter 2 for several months. I think I have a path to get that done in this course. I'll talk more about that later. But my plan is to accomplish 1 chapter for each of the remaining extension courses. So this course, I hope to get chapter 2 complete. Next course, I hope to get chapter 3 complete. And then chapter 4 and chapter 5. That said, even though my school week runs from Thursday to Wednesday, my weeks for this diary run from Monday to Sunday. So it's Sunday, it's the end of another week. Most of it I had off, but I still tried to get as much done as I could. And let me just recap it for you. On Monday, April 22nd, I watched the Dissertation Rocket Launch video 2. And I don't know, I did mention it, but I'll recap here. I signed up for a program called Dissertation Rocket Launch, and that had really 4 videos in it. I watched video 1 the previous week, and Monday I put on my calendar to watch video 2. The advice from video 1 was to do a few things. Figure out what one thing I wanted in my career in the next 10 years, what one thing I wanted professionally in the next 10 years, and to schedule time to do the dissertation on my calendar. So I did all of that, and then on Monday I watched video 2. Video 2 talked about really finding limiting beliefs that we have and trying to reset those so that we can continue to work with a dissertation. And I did that. It also asked us to describe the one thing we wanted out of our dissertation and to put together a graduation board consisting of visual things to remind us why we're doing this in the first place. So I did that. On Monday I watched it. And then what I did was I took 2 limiting beliefs that I had, and they were that the dissertation is hard and that it will take me a long time to finish the dissertation. And I took those and I went through an exercise with Tony Robbins called the Dickens pattern. It's about a 20-minute exercise. There are a couple YouTube videos. I used to have copies of all the audio. I don't anymore. And what you do is you take those and you work together and you what you do is you go through and you take your 2 limiting patterns and you try to visualize what it'll be like, or limiting beliefs, what it'll be like over the next 1, 5, and 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, if you continue to hold on to those beliefs and try to make it real and experience a pain. Then you come back and you go through and do the whole thing again with the beliefs that you want to have instead. And my beliefs instead are that the dissertation is totally doable and that it won't take a long time. It's a very painful process. It takes about half an hour by the time it's said and done. I did all of that on Monday as a result of watching the second video. And my goal for the week I had off was to try to get through all 4 of those videos for the Dissertation Rocket Launch. I did not complete that, and I'll explain that here in a little bit. Then I described the one thing I wanted for my dissertation, and that was to be able to say that I finished it and I have a doctoral degree. Really, that's all I want, is to be able to say I completed it. And then what I did was I made a graduation board digitally. I didn't actually print one out. And what I put on there was one picture of a Grand Canyon University doctoral graduate who was celebrating as she walked across the stage. And that's me. That's all I want. I want to get this thing done. Sure, I'd love to be published and start a life as a researcher, but really, actually, no, I don't want to do that. I just want to have it done and have the knowledge and the skills that come with completing the degree. On Tuesday, I have some personal commitments on Tuesday. Couldn't get anything done, and I didn't have any time scheduled on Tuesday anyways. On Wednesday, I took the opportunity to watch the third of 4 videos from the Dissertation Rocket Launch. And it talked about, spent the whole 45 minutes or so, and what it really said was, if you want to save time, switch to a quantitative methodology and not a qualitative methodology. I don't want to get in too deep in the weeds here, but a quantitative methodology is statistics. I'm not afraid of math and I'm not afraid of stats. Actually, I'm geeky that way. I kind of find it all interesting. But I was convinced I needed a qualitative methodology when I started, and a lot of students feel that way. What I'm doing is a multiple case study. And as I continue to research my topic and research issues and find stuff bubble to the top, I realized that my topic really would be better served with a quantitative methodology, but I was afraid to change it. I wanted to hold on to what I have. I didn't want to be flighty and changing things left and right. And changing methodologies is actually pretty disruptive before you get to chapter 3. Once you start chapter 3, it's enormously disruptive. So fortunately, I haven't completed chapter 3. Now is the time to make the switch. And Dr. Strickland of the Dissertation Rocket Launch videos made a very compelling argument that qualitative studies take an enormous amount of time. Quantitative studies can be done much quicker. And the details of that, or why that's true, are a little too deep for the scope of this conversation. But I wanted to switch to a quantitative anyways, but I was hesitant to just make willy-nilly changes. I saw this video and I thought, yeah, I need to switch to a quantitative methodology. I prayed about it. I talked to some close people with me about it, and I'm going to talk on Tuesday with my dissertation chair about it. I'll speak more about that here in a little bit. But in general, I think I'm going to switch to a quantitative survey or quantitative methodology.